Hi Tarot Lovelies, it's Ethany, and today I'm sharing my thoughts and views on coming out of the tarot reader closet. This week's video is more of an opinion piece than a tutorial, and if you do not agree with anything I share with you, please, as always, take what resonates with you and simply leave the rest. Our journeys as human beings and as individuals is just that, individual and personal, and no two situations are the same. There is no one right way to declare to the world that you are a tarot reader, or to own any label at that matter. What you choose to share with the world is 100% up to you and nobody else. You do not have to identify with any label that other people may want to put on you. You may not even like using any labels whatsoever. Remember, your journey, your life, your prerogative. I have been extremely fortunate with my experiences as a tarot reader and as a practicing witch. I know from experience and from the experience of my very close friends and colleagues that not everyone is so fortunate. So when you do come across someone else who is struggling with this, please keep kindness in your heart. We never truly know what is going on for someone else in their life. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is the conception or preconceived ideas or stereotypes or overly worrying about what other people think of you. Now, these are some interesting responses I've had when I've told people that I'm a tarot reader. They get even funnier when I tell them I'm a professional reader for sure, but these are some of the things that people have said to me in the past. So you're a tarot reader, hey? Well, you don't really look like one. Oh, so are you going to put a curse on me now? Well, what's my future? Tell me my future then. What, you actually mean you believe that mumbo jumbo crap? You're going straight to hell. You know that, right? Fun times. Thankfully, these conversations have been far and few between. And to be honest, I've had most of those things said to me via the internet. Rarely do I come across someone in a face-to-face situation where they'll say something negative to my face. It might be that I have "just try me, bitch" on my forehead, or that people are a lot braver behind a keyboard. Tarot has also been in my life for so long that many people come to find and know me through that art form, and it's just part of who I am. As I mentioned before, these experiences have been very few and far between. So know that if you're ever wanting to talk to people in your community, your friends, your family, or even do a fair or a party or become a tarot reader, know that this does not happen all the time. It is very rare. Another thing to consider with this is that I'm very public and open about my experiences with the tarot and my craft and my profession. That does mean I'm going to come across a lot more opinions than most, and I'm okay with that. Does it not mean that people should maybe be a little nicer on the internet? Sure, but I choose not to take on anybody else's crap as my own. I believe that the more we talk about the tarot as an empowering tool, we can reduce the stereotyping. When we share what real tarot readers are like and what our lives are like, we help bring more understanding to the topic. But like anything else in life, don't let other people stop you. Don't let other people's opinions, often ones that we have projected onto them, stop you from doing what you love and being who you want to be. My one caveat is my next point. Is it secret and is it safe? You do not owe anyone anything to come out of any closet if it is unsafe. If you're not ready to, or you just simply don't want to. If it is not safe for you to declare that you love all things tarot, then don't do it. Don't allow anyone to make you feel pressured to be visibly seen in our community at the cost of your health or livelihood, and health on every single level. I know that some people fear losing their jobs if their employers found out about their personal lives, or are really worried about their safety. And this can be read across coming out of a number of closets. There is real safety concerns for many people in this world. Same goes if you're simply not ready to come out to the people in your life. You may be super excited about the tarot and want to allow yourself the time to enjoy exploring it on your own before you let the floodgates open for everyone and their goldfish's opinions, because you know that's going to happen. There is nothing wrong with wanting to enjoy the time and space for something that you love, to get a good grasp of it, to just enjoy it. And sometimes it's fun just to have something for yourself. You may also want to have a better understanding of the tarot so you have an educated conversation about it with people when it comes up. Now, I know for me, when I was first exploring witchcraft and found Wicca, that was definitely something that I wanted to make sure I was able to do. I kept that to myself for a long while because I wanted to make sure I had all the facts, because goodness knows I had to go through some deprogramming and had to relearn a bunch of stuff about what I thought was to be true before I was able to actually speak to anyone about it. You are also allowed to have a personal, closed, deep practice that is not open to other people, and that is 100% fine as well. Ultimately, it's your choice on how you want to come out of the tarot reader closet and if you want to come out. Another part that makes this extremely difficult is my next point, which is my partner doesn't understand or approve. And I have to admit, this is a real sticky one. If you found tarot when you were already in a relationship that was chugging along, you've invested quite a bit and you've been with that person for a while, I can imagine that it can be hard if your partner has certain cultural or religious beliefs or has unconscious biases to things they do not understand. Every situation and relationship is different, and it can be very hard if the partner feels like this has come out of the blue. Some of the things that may be helpful if you find yourself in this situation is to show them some of the people that you know doing tarot. Share with them a few YouTube videos or a podcast or a book. Give them a deck that you feel they might be really drawn to. Include them in your practice if they're open to it. Take them to a local metaphysical shop. But certainly see if they're open to at least being educated on the tarot and in your practice, and invite them into that part of your life, especially if it means a lot to you. Pretty soon they're going to figure out it's not inherently evil, hopefully, and that you are in more danger of buying more crystals and decks than you can carry than anything else. Education and inclusion are two great ways to form understanding. If things get really heated, you can try getting mediation, so a third party is holding space for the conversation and allowing both sides to speak and be heard. If this is a deal breaker, then again, this is going to be a decision that you have to make based on your relationship, values, and priorities, and there is no one size fits all to this. I have heard everything. This comes from also not only being a tarot reader, but also being a craft practitioner. I've heard that mother-in-laws don't agree. I've heard that grandparents don't agree and have forced people to give up things that they love. And I've heard it over and over and over again. If your situation is that you need to step away from that for a little bit, or slowly educate people in your life, or just do things just for you and keep that as your own practice, then do it. No one should shame you or tell you you have to do it any other way. So there's another part to this of when do you come out of the tarot reader closet to your potential new partner. So This is if you are already a tarot reader or already are well and deep into the tarot game and you meet someone new. So for myself, I've met past partners in spiritual shops and in the spiritual community while I've been a tarot reader or been partaking in very paganistic things. So the good thing there is that the conversation is rarely a shocker, or they know straight away. However, when I've been dating outside of the community, I let the person know I'm a tarot reader organically. I don't throw it out there for shock value or have it as some sort of moral hoop to jump through to get to date 2. I say for what they think of Tolkien and Harry Potter, mostly. I don't feel as though sitting across from someone and saying, I'm a tarot reader, what do you think about that? And if you don't like it, then we're not seeing each other ever again on the first date, is kind of not very productive unless you're having a shocking date and you want to find a way to possibly end it very quickly. Usually what happens is over the course of the first few dates or the first getting to know people, other conversations will come up. Things like, what do you both believe happens when you pass over? Is there life after death? A little bit about religious backgrounds of both parties. Astrology, crystals, numerology, forecasts, all of those things come up at some point, whether it's through popular culture or you have a conversation, and you can kind of get a bit of an idea of where the person lands in that it's really bad and I don't agree with it and I have very strict views and ethics around that, to I don't maybe understand it, but I'm certainly open to learning more about it, to, I totally believe in all that too. I found most people are in the middle. And if you just throw it at someone as a way for shock value or to see whether they are worth investing your time in straight off the bat, you can maybe do worse things for our stereotype than letting the person get to know who you are as your soul and in your heart, and who you are as a kind human being, hopefully. And then saying, well, these are the things that I use as my spiritual practice. These are the tools. Did you want to maybe learn a little bit more about them? Can I give you a reading? I found also that a lot of people have had tarot readings and don't tell other people. Actually, lots of people that I know that's happened. They're like, I've had a tarot reading once. So there's that tiny little bit of interest there. Most of my partners, and it's not like I've had many of them, but most of my partners have found out when they have come into my home, when we've gotten to a stage where they come into my living space. Even then, you really do have to kind of go poking around my bookshelves to really see what is stocked there. But they usually see I wear crystal jewelry, I may wear some symbols, I have a lot of moon shirts, I'm very witchy. So there's a pretty good solid foundation there on the relationship building side. And also I'm very much who I am, and the conversations have been what they are. And they know about my morals and values. So when they come to my space and they see my altars and they see my decks and my gazillion crystals, it's not really a massive shocker. As with anything tarot, magic, religion, it's more about the heart of the person than the practice or belief itself. That is why I let people to get to know me a little bit more before I start attaching labels to myself. I never hide it though. If I'm asked directly, I answer it for sure. And I know I am a very visible member of this community, and everybody in my personal life knows what I do for a living, and that I am 100% obsessed with tarot, and that I'm also a practicing witch. No one in my family, no one in my friend circle, both, my friends who I'm still friends with from high school, my friends socially here who are not practicing craft members, they all know what I do. No one, I'm not in that closet whatsoever. But as I mentioned before, every situation is different, and it is up to every individual to decide if they ever want to share with people that they are into the tarot. I also want to note that I know that not all tarot readers are witches, and not all witches read the cards. It's just because of who I am, the conversation goes hand in hand, and I'm both. But I wanted to put that out there because I'm sure someone in the comments would have let me know I forgot to mention that. We are so fortunate to live in a time where we have the internet giving us the ability to connect with fellow tarot readers and lovers from all over the world. We are a lot less isolated now and can be a part of communities who love the same things as us, and we can do it in a personal, safe space. If you've had a shitty experience with coming out of the tarot reader closet, I want to give you a virtual hug because I can imagine just how difficult that can be. Remember that you are not who other people say you are. You get to choose that, and you are not alone. Come and join many of the tarot communities out there and see for yourself. There are thousands of us. There are some great groups on Facebook. There are amazing hashtags that you can follow on Instagram. There are still chat boards out there, and there is plenty of us on YouTube as well. Any social media, you will find tarot readers. And of course, as with any community, you're not going to vibe with everyone in it, and you may have some experiences where people aren't so great, but know that that's like with any community and any situation where you're dealing with people. People are people. But when it comes to coming out of the tarot closet, these are my thoughts in a nutshell. You do not owe it to anybody to come out and own being a tarot reader as a label. It's your choice, your life, and it has to feel right, and it has to be safe to you. I would love to hear your thoughts of coming out of the tarot reader closet. And if your experiences, if you'd like to share them, I would love to hear that too. Have you let the people in your life know that you love the tarot? As always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful day.